Hello everybody. Today I'm doing a video on AMLO. He's out in one of the provinces and he's already done the morning meeting, but I didn't do that. I wanted to start today with the one that he did after that one, which is done in the rural community of Oaxaca. So I'm going to go ahead and start. So first, let's remove this.
Del Hospital Rural Santiago Jamiltepec.
Santiago Jamiltepec is where the place is. Okay, she's speaking in a indigenous dialogue. It means, may God take care of you, President of Mexico. We feel very honored by your visit. Very good afternoon. Licenciado means attorney in some cases, but it also means someone who's gotten in some kind of a degree.
Compañeros y público en general, sean bienvenidos a Santiago Jamiltepec, rincón de la costa oaxaqueña.
He says he's there. Jamiltepec was named like that in honor to the king, and it also means house of adobe, and it also means like it's a prophecy, because after 39 years this hospital would appear to be a actual house of adobe due to the actual deterioration that it is suffering, that is caused by the seismic and meteorological activity. She's from Oaxaca, from Jamiltepec, and she's very proud of her mixed roots. I have had the satisfaction of having worked in the most difficult trenches of IMSS Bienestar and as a zone supervisor, and I have had the fortune of sharing very closely with my people their needs and their happinesses. And today I have the great honor of recently being named in charge of this hospital. For this reason, I allow myself to congratulate this great team, because together we protect the health of our Oaxaca brothers and sisters. So we have the participation. Oh my goodness, it looks like we had a video stop. Let's hope it works. Okay. Some person from the community who are vigilant, and they promote health in each of their communities, which makes us very different in the health sector. And I tell you that I worked very closely with a worker that received a national award because he helped his community. Jamiltepec attends more than 170,000 people, Mixtecos, Chatinos, Amugos, and Afro-Mexicans, which are in 27 municipalities. Some of them are about 12 hours from the capital, and when it's required, they are taken to the General Hospital of Oaxaca and Vicente Guerrero of Acapulco. And besides the hospitals of high specialties, the General Hospital, and on some occasions, they don't even count the beds in order to receive our patients. Mr.
Esta
President,
tierra oaxaqueña
this
es un
Oaxaca
claro
land
ejemplo
is a
de
clear example
supervivencia,
of
porque hemos resistido
survival
temblores,
because we've
inundaciones,
resisted
tormentas y huracanes,
earthquakes,
porque si bien es cierto
torments,
que las
hurricanes,
tempestades arrasan con todos
because
los árboles a su paso,
some of these
quedan de
hurricanes
pie
pull the
solo los más fuertes, como el roble
trees,
y el
and
guanacaste.
only the
Es decir,
strongest stay in place,
permanecen
robles
las
and
estructuras
oaxacli.
más sólidas.
So only the most
Así
solid
es nuestro
structures,
programa
and
IMSS
that
Bienestar,
is how our
un
program is.
programa firme, bien
IMSS
plantado,
Buenestar,
con
it's a
raíces
firm
bien
that
profundas y listo para
that is
soportar
well
todos los
rooted,
embates de
and
la
it's
naturaleza.
ready to handle all the problems of nature.
Por ello, y para
Due to
continuar
this,
con la
and
esencia
to
del
continue
programa,
with the
se
essence of the
requiere con
program,
urgencia
it is
la
required with
reparación del
urgency
hospital,
the
porque
reparation of
tiene
the
daños
hospital,
ocasionados
because
por el
it has
sismo del 2018,
problems that had
encontrando
been
fisuras,
caused
muros
by the
agrietados y
earthquake
plafones
of
con filtraciones,
2008, I
ocasionando
think she said,
múltiples
which
goteras.
had caused lots of
Asimismo,
dripping.
se requiere la
And we
sustitución
also need
de
the
diversos equipos
substitution of
médicos,
some medical equipment,
electromecánicos, la
electrical,
cobertura de
mechanical,
residentes de pediatría y
the
de personal de apoyo en
pediatric
todos
area,
los
and
turnos,
personnel in
la
all
renovación de nuestras
shifts,
ambulancias y
the
por último, que
rehabilitation
nos
of our
autorice
hospitals,
recursos
and to
para
authorize
construir un
resources
albergue
to
comunitario
construct
amplio que
a
permita que nuestros
area
pacientes y sus
that
familiares
will allow
tengan una estancia digna.
that will have a
Casi
place for
termino.
the people
Pero como
to
usted sabe,
a
durante
waiting
el fin
room.
de semana pasado
They need a bigger
sufrimos
one.
una tormenta
So this
con una
weekend we had
inundación en el hospital que alcanzó
this
más de
weekend
20 centímetros en
we
diferentes
had
áreas del
a
hospital.
water
Pero entre todos
flood
pudimos
which
resolverlo,
went up to
porque
20
IMSS Bienestar
centimeters,
somos un gran equipo
and
y de pronto
we
nos
survived it,
encontramos brazos por
and
todos lados,
we all
todos
helped
unidos
each
para
other
recuperar nuestro
to
hospital.
recover our hospital.
Licenciado Andrés
Mr.
Manuel López Obrador,
President
usted
Obrador,
se empeño que ahora se
you
está haciendo realidad con la
brought
visita que
a
usted nos
dream
hace,
that is now
porque en
coming
este
true
sueño vemos
due
un
to the
hospital
visit
de
that you gave us,
Jamiltepec nuevo,
because now we see
recién
a new
remodelado y
remodeled
equipado,
hospital
en
that
donde
is
nuestra población mixteca
equipped
pueda
where our
vivir feliz
population
para
can
mejorar su salud.
have
Muchas
better
gracias.
health care. And thank you very much. It's very sweet. She was very firm.
Solicitamos al maestro Zoé Robledo, director general del Instituto
Zoé
Mexicano del Seguro
Robledo
Social,
is
nos
going to
dirija
speak
su
now.
mensaje.
He's the director. He's the one that usually travels with the president.
Buenas tardes, amigas,
Good afternoon, friends
amigos de Santiago
of
Jamiltepec.
Santiago
Con su
Jamiltepec.
permiso, señor presidente,
With your permission, Mr. President, I want to say hello
reconocer y
and
agradecer
recognize and appreciate
con toda honestidad y de
with
corazón
all
el trabajo
honesty
de
from
los
our heart
médicos, de
the work of
los
these
doctores,
doctors
las doctoras,
and
los residentes, los
the
pasantes,
residents,
las enfermeras
the
de
nurses,
este hospital,
that this
también
hospital,
quienes están en alguna
which
de las unidades
also has
médicas
one of
rurales,
the rural
los
areas,
amigos de
the
administración, de
friends of
servicios generales, de
administration,
conservación, los
and
compañeros de acción
the friends from
comunitaria,
action,
los
from the
voluntarios,
community, the
voluntarias
volunteers,
rurales de salud, las
and the
parteras,
health
voluntarias
and the
rurales, los
voluntary
jóvenes,
rural
del CARA,
labor and
que hoy
delivery
se pusieron de caras
practitioners.
blancas porque
And
hicieron
today they
una
put
muy
on
buena activación allá
white
sobre el trabajo
faces
que ellos
because
hacen.
they
Los
didn't
jubilados también
like
que nos
act
acompañan
regarding the work they do.
el día de hoy,
And
y que
so,
nos da tanto gusto
so
siempre
we're so
saludar y
happy to
conversar
have
con ellos. Y desde luego
with
toda
the
la gente que se
students and
atiende
all the people that attend
en este hospital.
in this
En
hospital.
esta ocasión y
So
con
on
este
this
hospital
occasion and with this
llevamos
hospital,
67
we have
recorridos. Es el
been
número
to
6 de
67.
los 9
So
que
this is number
tiene
6
Oaxaca del
of out
programa
of 9 that
IMSS,
Oaxaca
IMSS
has in
Bienestar.
the program
Con
IMSS
el gobernador
Bienestar.
Murat
And with the
hemos
Governor
estado
Murat,
trabajando de
we've been
manera
working
coordinada.
in a
Nos da tanto gusto
coordinated
también que esté
manner.
aquí con nosotros David
And
León
you can see that
de
David
Protección,
Leon from
Civil en un lugar
Civil
tan
Protection
vulnerable
that
a los
is here
desastres
in
naturales.
a very
Y
vulnerable
saludo
area
también de
to
verdad
natural
porque me dio mucho gusto
disasters.
escuchar
And it
la
gave
pasión
me very
de
much
la
happiness to
doctora
listen
Matilde.
to
Ella lleva
the
20 años
passion of
trabajando en
the
el programa, pero
Dr.
lleva
Matilde,
48
but she's
horas
been
encargada
48
de
hours
este
in
hospital.
charge of this
Y
hospital.
bueno, pues estrenó usted con la
And
visita del presidente
and
López
she
Obrador
got lucky
y de
today
verdad
because she had
lo
the
hizo muy
visit of
bien.
the president on that day.
Lo hizo de
And she
manera
did it
extraordinaria.
in an extraordinary
Y
way.
estoy seguro que lo hizo con
And I am
mucha
happy, and I believe she
pasión, con
did it
mucha
with lots
energía,
of
por una razón,
passion
ella
and
es de acá.
energy,
Y eso es algo que
because
nosotros valoramos muchísimo.
this is
El médico que
something that we
sale, se
value very
prepara y
much.
vuelve
The,
a su tierra a
the
servirle a
doctor
su
who
pueblo.
goes out,
Eso
gets
de verdad
prepared,
que es
and
de
returns to his
destacar.
land to
Saben ustedes
help
aquí
his
que
people.
tuvimos un doctor, llegó de
So, you know,
director,
we
y a la
had
hora de la hora,
some doctors,
pues
they came
puso
and
que se
then
empolvorosa, como
they
dicen por ahí, y se
decided
fue.
to leave.
Pero ella
But
está aquí
she's one
encargada
that
del
decided
hospital y
to
estamos
stay,
seguros que
and
va a
she's
hacer
in charge
un
of
gran
the
trabajo
hospital.
en estos
And we're sure
momentos que
she's going to do
efectivamente
great
son
job.
complejos para
And these are
este
complex
hospital.
things
Y lo
for
son
this
porque, como lo
hospital.
dijo la
And it is
doctora,
because the
ha
way the
resistido
doctor
los
said it,
embates
they've
de
been able to
sismos, de tormentas,
handle the
de desastres naturales.
natural
Pero también hay una
disasters,
cosa que hay que
seismic
destacar.
activity,
Este hospital y
storms.
todo el programa
But this
también
hospital
resistió
and the
los
whole program
embates de
has
una
also
plaga peor, los embates
um,
políticos del
handled
neoliberalismo.
the
Años y años
problems
pasaron
with
en los que los
neoliberalism, the
sistemas de salud
combat
en todo el
from
país
the
se habían vuelto fríos,
corrupt
desorganizados,
governments
fragmentados.
that were
Y sin embargo, desde su
fragmented and
nacimiento,
disorganized.
como
And
IMSS
since
proclamar, este
the
programa
development of
del
this
Seguro Social
program,
mantuvo su espíritu,
it
mantuvo
it
una
maintained
serie de
its
valores que están
series of
presentes y que
values that are
hoy
still
es justo
present, and that
reconocer
it's
y
just now
destacar
to
para
recognize
fortalecerlos y pensar
and
que ese
make them
porvenir del
stand
que
out.
estamos nosotros hablando en la
And
cuarta transformación es posible
it's
con
the
gente
future that we
como
see
ustedes.
coming
Uno
with
de los
people like you.
elementos
One of
más
the
importantes
elements
que se
that is
mantuvo
most
en el
important that
programa
was
es
maintained in
que
the program
frente a la
was
tecnocracia
that
que solamente valora
confronting the
y hace caso a
technocrats
los datos duros,
that all they care about is the
hicieron
hard
algo
data.
que
You did
debe de recuperarse
something
en todo
that
el
needs to be
servicio público,
recovered in the
acudir
whole
a la
public,
realidad,
to
ver
tend to the
la dura
reality
realidad,
and see the
enfrentarla,
hard reality,
solucionarla,
confront it,
escuchando a la gente.
solve
Por
it,
más
and listen to the
apartada que
people,
sea la
no
ranchería,
matter how
por más
far
lejana
away
que
and
sea
how
el caserío al
distant
que acuden
that
a
you go
atender, o
to attend
incluso
to, but
viviendo
even
en este
living
lugar en
in this
Jamiltepec que está
area,
tan
Juan
lejano
Martepec,
de
which
la
is so
capital
far
de
from the
Oaxaca,
capital of Oaxaca,
ustedes han demostrado
you
que
have
estar en el
demonstrated
territorio es la única
that
forma
to
que
be in the
tenemos
territory is the only way
para
that we
conocer
have
los problemas,
to actually
para
know the
poder actuar
problems
y
and to
poder
be able to
transformar la
act
realidad
and
de las
transform
personas.
the reality of
También
the
en este
people.
programa se ha
And
demostrado
also in this
que
program,
la
we've
idea de que la salud
demonstrated
solamente es la
that the
ausencia de la
idea that
enfermedad y que hay que
isn't
esperar en
just
los hospitales a
health
que la
isn't just
gente
the
llegue
absence
ya
of
enferma
illness,
es un gran error,
and to
porque
wait for
la
people to get
prevención
sick is
que
just
se
a
ha
problem.
logrado en
You need to
el
have
programa IMSS
prevention, and that's
Bienestar
what we've
es
gained in
uno
this
de los
program.
elementos
And
más
it's one of
destacados.
the
Hoy, como lo
most
sabe todo el
important
personal
parts,
médico, estamos
as
iniciando
all
el mes
the
de la sensibilización sobre el
medical
cáncer de
personnel
mama.
know,
Aquí,
that
en
we're
este hospital y en muchas otras unidades
working
médicas
on the
rurales y en
cancer
instalaciones
of
del Seguro
the
Social,
moms.
todos
And
los años se realizan 5.6 millones de
so every
exploraciones
year
clínicas de
we do
prevención de cáncer de mama.
5.6
Y también se
memory,
les enseña a la gente cómo lo
so
puede hacer
breast
de
cancer.
manera,
So they're fighting breast
de
cancer
manera
because they
personal,
have
cómo
had
hacer la
how to do it in
autoexploración. Y eso se logra,
self-exploration
sí,
of breast cancer.
efectivamente teniendo
And
un gran personal de atención
you do
médica,
it by
pero
having
también de
great
acción
personnel that
comunitaria. Por
train
eso el
and
trabajo de
community
ellos
action.
es
And
tan
that is why
importante y
their
hay
work
que
is so
reconocerlo hoy y
important,
siempre.
and we need to recognize it today and always.
Ya les iba yo a presumir que como
I was
vino
going
de
to
Protección
tell you
Civil había
that
dejado de
we
llover,
had
pero
stopped
pues bueno,
raining,
aquí nos mojamos tantito,
but
pero
well,
creo
we
que
got
son importantes
wait
estas
a little bit,
reflexiones.
but we
Por
think it's very
último,
important to
decía
reflect
algo
on these
en
things.
este lugar
So here in this place regarding this program, the voluntary work, the work of those that in a disinterested way uh, for themselves are doing a work for their community that for us would be impossible to think at IMSS Bienestar without their help. So here is Amadeo Sarmiento. So Amadeo won the national prize. He is one of the three of the whole program in Bienestar out of the millions of volunteers. We recognize him as one of the best. And we want him to share his example. And also Victoria Nava, who is over here. And also Aniana, because she's been working 28 years, and Aniana has only 4 years. But this is the type of people that we want to have, that they generate and value the work of the community. Here in this corner of our land, where we have one of the best expressions of our identity, our race that is mixed, but also our third race, the Afro-Mexican, of which we are so proud to recognize and include them here in this place in Oaxaca, to say to them that it is a pride, to our pride, to deal with people like you. And here Matsuamas Alcacan showed us something, that God never dies and that their children never die when they devote their life to serving and healing and helping the rest to find happiness. And these are you, and that's why we congratulate you and hope for many years for you to live. Oh, this is the African American community. You can see there's some there.
Damas y caballeros,
So,
escuchemos
ladies
el
and
mensaje que
gentlemen,
nos
let's
dirige
listen to the
el presidente
message from the
constitucional de los
President
Estados Unidos
of the
Mexicanos,
United Mexican
licenciado
States.
Andrés Manuel López Obrador.
They say licenciado, which means some kind of a title. Andrés Manuel López Obrador means educated. So today, I'm very happy to be with you today in Jamiltepec. So they're saying it's an honor to be with Obrador, is what they're yelling. So it looks like they're very happy to have him there. It's good to have the communities join from townships and from this whole region, from the coast of Oaxaca, of all the cultures, including the African Mexican of this coast of Oaxaca. We are, as always, going throughout the territory. I was coming to the doctor that I know this area very well, like I know all the municipalities of Oaxaca, the 570 municipalities of Oaxaca, and all the municipalities of Mexico. I have visited them more than once. I used to comment to the doctor, Isela, that in order to go to Tlacaco, you have to go through a hill. And I did it, and I've done it many times. From the coast to Jagliaco and then to Oaxaca, and then from Pinotepa to Acapulco, or from Pinotepa towards Puerto Escondido, Huatulco, all of this. I have been through it, I've walked it, and that is why I'm very happy to be here again with you today. And I always also did comment to the Dr. Isela that it's demonstrated, and this is something that we need to take into account, that the farther out the hospitals are from IMSS Bienestar, the more abandoned they are. Yes, yes, they're all saying, yes, that is what what lets us give you all the attention that the system of public health and this program has, especially IMSS Bienestar, which I know very well because when this program was initiated 40 years ago, I was director of the Indigenous Institute in Tabasco, like the culture of Aguasteca and other cultures of Oaxaca. There, there exists the Maya culture, Chontal, and I used to work in the indigenous communities as a director of INI. And also, I was the delegate for Coplamar. This was from 1977 to 1982, and I was there very young. I had just come out of school, and at that time, it was when it was initiated, this program, about 40 years ago. And they started to create these rural communities in the outskirts and these hospitals. And like here, Zoe commented, these hospitals and this program have resisted all these terrible hurricanes and they're still standing. And it's because of you, because of the workers of the sector of health and the workers of IMSS Bienestar. So it has changed but of name, and also because, like we said, it's also set up roots. Because first it was IMSS Coplamar, and then IMSS Solidarity, and then Prosperity, and then Progresa, IMSS Opportunities, and IMSS Prosper, and then IMSS Bienestar, which is well-being. But now it's going to be its best time as it was originated. I guarantee it. It will be the best time it has ever had. We are going to attend to better all of the health services. 4 actions. We're going to take into effect 4 actions, which are fundamental. First, that there not be any shortage of medication, because that is a problem. And everybody cheers. We're going to start with the hospitals and discrimination, because if you live near a health unit, you have the possibility of counting with maybe 120 medicines, and then a bigger hospital might have 300, and then an ordinary bigger hospital 600, and then third level might have 1,200 medications. So we have to be sure that nobody has a shortage, all medications that are needed, and look for a distribution that it'll get to the most furthest communities. There should be no excuse or no pretext, because we have the budget in order to buy the medications, the materials for health, and we also can distribute the medications. How is it that they distribute the Coca-Cola and the chips? How come that gets to all the communities? Then how are we not going to be able to get the medications to all these farthest regions? Of course, yes. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Me canso ganso, just a rhyming thing, which means like if I'm lying, I'm dying. It has something to do with a goose and getting tired. But yes, it can be done. And the people are chanting, yes, it can. Yes, we can. So the next thing is that we don't have a shortage of nurses and doctors. The specialists They don't want to come to this area in Jamiltepec, and the podiatrists and pediatrics, they don't want to come because they want to be in the middle of the city. Well, let them stay there in that city of Mexico. But the pediatric doctor that comes here will earn more than the one that stays in the city and in the Oaxaca. So he's gonna give like extra money if they come to the outskirts. So it, we want to make sure that there's no shortage of workers, healthcare workers. That's the second part. It's a matter that's complex. It would take me time here to expose it, but this is a result at the end of accounting due to this economic model of the neoliberals that they imposed on us because they wanted to privatize education, and they wanted those only that had money can study. And so then they left without a budget the public universities, and they started with this lie that they were turning people away that wanted to join the universities from the schools of medicine because they didn't pass an admission exam. But it's not true. It's not that they didn't pass the admission exam. It's because they hadn't left any space because they didn't give attention to the public education. And now, due to that, that they wanted to have medicine, private medicine, get benefited, and so that you would have to pay for the services. Now, as a result, we have no doctors and no specialists that are required by the country. So now we have this a very bad shortage, and we are going to resolve it because we are going to create many schools for nursing and medicine, and there's going to be facilities so that we will have all the doctors and all the nurses that are required. The third thing is that they better the infrastructure because here we are observing this hospital, which has nearly 40 years, is very damaged. And because now it, it gets all wet due to its antiquity, and then there's the tremors that have affected it. It requires to be rehabilitated, this hospital. And then, like that, lots of health centers, hospitals that were left without finishing, inconclusive. As I comment, that we were at a hospital that was like this, that was saturated from Matias Romero in related to that seismic activity. And there in Matias Romero, the government of the state and of the, they started a construction of a hospital from the Secretary of Health, and they left it half done. So they thought it would be easy when they informed us to say there of that hospital that we were going to finish that hospital of health, and then it would pass to be part of IMSS Bienestar. And that was the agreement. However, we did a supervision at the hospital that was left inconcluded, and it turns out it's fractured because they constructed it in a seismic area, and when there was a earthquake, now it is not fixable. But like that hospital, in the case of Oaxaca and all the country, they left a scattering of works that were inconclusive. So now we need to finish these works and better the infrastructure of health that exists now. That is also a program that is special. And here I am being accompanied by the architect that is responsible for this work, Carlos Sanchez Meneses, and he will be taking charge of that work. And he will attend to the rehabilitation of this hospital and anything that has to do with bettering the infrastructure. And point 4 is that we need to rehabilitate and make full-time workers all the workers of the country. There's a lot of there's more than 80,000 workers that are working as by contracts like registry type work, and we want to make them little by little. It's a process. We're going to start with 6,000 this year, and then after that we're going to take into account how long they've been there, and now it ends that influentialism, recommendations, that I have a good uncle or what is it, godfather or godmother. I've got a lot of control. That's going to the heck. It is going to be according to who's got the most time in. And then during the 6 years, we're going to use give full-time work to all the workers. That is my commitment to better this program with these 4 actions, and it will increase the budget by 40,000 million pesos to better the health care, public health care. And this is what I wanted to transmit to you. And that is why we're making these runs through the country with a public health, Jorge Alcocer, that is not to boast, but he's an eminence in science and regarding nutrition, and he is the Secretary of Health of the government. There he is. So he calls him an eminence. Pretty cool. And also, we are accompanied, as you listen, by Zoe Robledo, the Director of Social Security. And he is here with us. He's the equivalent of a secretary. And also, we have here with us Juan Antonio Ferrer Aguilar. He's the director of the Institute of Health for the well-being. And we are also accompanied by the representatives of the whole health sector. And we are visiting so that they don't tell us, and to be able to say, I actually witnessed it and I've been there, and to elaborate in order to take it into practice and better the systems of health. And also, on this occasion, I am accompanied by David Romero, which is the National Coordinator of Public Protection, of Civil Protection, because he coordinates all the actions regarding natural phenomenons like hurricanes, seismic, any. Fortunately, this year we've had lots of luck. It looks like it's virtue and fortune, and so we've had luck because we haven't had any phenomenons, natural phenomenons. And even though this is not wood, I'm touching wood, imaginary wood. So he's tapping on wood. Or, oh, no, knock on wood. No. But anyway, in any form, that this hurricane, Narda, that affected the whole coast, in the Pacific, and it went throughout the whole coast,
Chiapas, Oaxaca,
Chiapas, Oaxaca,
Guerrero,
and Guerrero,
Michoacán,
and Michoacán,
Colima,
Colima,
y se internó
and it also
al norte,
went
y allá
north,
ya se
and
convirtió
there it converted
pues en tormenta
in a
tropical,
tropical
ya
storm,
no tiene riesgos,
and there is no
para
more risks,
decirlo.
for just to
De
say.
todas maneras,
But
aquí,
in any case,
en
here
esta
in
región,
this region,
afectó,
it
y por
affected,
eso
and that
David
is
está
why
aquí, se
David
va a
is
quedar
here, and he will
aquí en
stay
esta región,
in this region,
atendiendo todas
attending